10 Cats. Fastest man on two wheels, Chris Hoy. Funny man, Mark Watson. And their team captain, Jason Manford. And facing them tonight, Panto Queen, Jungle King, it's Biggins. She's a superstar, Jamelia. And their team captain, Sean Locke. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, 56% of Londoners believe that their lungs are healthy for their age? That age being the early 21st century, just before the planet dies. 60% of Spaniards say British tourists are drunk and abusive whilst on holiday. If you're watching, fuck off, Pedro. 28% of Germany's prison population is foreign, but that figure has dropped since the 1940s. And 52% of women in their 40s are married. The rest of them have failed. Let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. Jason, your team to go first. What have the nation been talking about?
Is it three-time Olympic gold medalist Chris Hoy being on 8 hours? Have you brought the Olympic medals
No,
with you?
he doesn't carry the medals everywhere. Or does he?
Go on,
Here they are.
Yeah, there it is.
He has got them.
You would, wouldn't
There
you?
you go. Everywhere I go. Everywhere I go.
Look at that. Well, Jim fixed it for me.
Is there any chocolate in this?
Chris Hoy being on the show is talked about,
Yeah, but
mainly
it's not.
by us.
OK.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not one of the most talked about things of the week. What are people
Is it
been
this
talking about?
experiment which might end the world? As a
Oh, bring us down.
Basically, this experiment they're doing, they're going to get protons and neutrons and fire them at each other dead fast. And
Dead fast, like not just fast, dead
no,
fast.
like think how fast you've seen stuff go. Faster than that.
Is it the greatest science experiment?
It's the biggest, it's the largest experiment ever done, apart from Australia.
The British government have handed over £34 million for this experiment, right? Which is actually the same as giving everybody in the country a pint of beer, right? Now, what would you rather have, a pint of beer or possibly the end of the world?
If it is the end of the world, you are reigning Olympic champion forever.
But it's a bit cowardly to say, now I'm champion, let's hope the world ends. I'd almost rather Chris got silver next time and we didn't fucking die.
What I don't understand, right, why do they need such a big machine to do this experiment with these two little smaller-than-dot things?
I'm glad you asked me. No, Jimmy, you've been to university. You might be able to explain that to people.
Yes.
Yeah.
I once went to a lecture by Stephen Hawking and explained time travel and other dimensions, and I understood it for literally about 5 minutes. And as I walked out, I went, no, it's gone. Literally had
What
for
it
a
is,
second.
it's a thing called a flux capacitor.
Hello.
And if you go 88 miles an hour in a DeLorean, you can go back and save your mum from getting snogged by you. It's weird, really. An older one will come back and give you a sports almanac and you'll become like a billionaire, and that's time travel. There you go, Jamelia. No problem.
I think that has summed it up nicely. Let's have a look and see whether the Big Bang experiment is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story of the Big Bang experiment in Switzerland and fears that it may lead to the end of the world. The experiment will tell us what happened just after the Big Bang. If you're wondering what happened just before the Big Bang, a group of scientists in Switzerland pressed a button. OK, Sean, what else have the nation been talking about?
What about the bombings on the planes, the water?
Oh, yes!
Yes.
The bombings on the planes. You made it sound like so much fun. The bombings on the terror trial, the liquid bomb.
The liquid.
Yeah. Very rarely does news annoy me, but this really, I got no, because this really affected me. because I can't take my usual brand of shampoo on holiday. These guys, they bought 32 consignments of hydrogen peroxide. You thought, that's a lot of highlights, isn't it? Even if they've got one of those big beards. You want some? I'd love to see a fundamentalist with highlights.
I'd love to see.
They bought a flat in Walthamstow, and they had a bomb factory in the flat.
Sorry, they bought this house. It's a bomb factory, and they didn't even make one bomb. They didn't even blow up one bomb.
No.
You're right, it's not a very productive bomb factory.
I can't believe your problem with this story is they're underachievers.
Okay, they have an employee of the month thing every year. They won't be on it.
I'm just saying, you've paid £138,000 for a bomb factory in Walthamstow as well. Yeah. Sorry. But, you know, at least blow up something. No, I'm in no way advocating
I don't think there's any fundamentalist watching this show going, let's see what Jamelia has to say. She thinks we should blow stuff up. I told you!
They actually said, the defence was, we're not going to blow up anything, we were just going to cause a nuisance.
I know.
Cause a nuisance, which is like playing Wally.
What's Wally?
Wally. It's where you kick a ball against a wall. It's just called Wally.
That's called Wally?
Yeah, Wally.
Why would you have a name for that?
Well, you're playing it with other people. Do you want a game of Wally? Yeah, all right, I'll come and play Wally with you.
That puts your sporting achievements in the shade.
I got a gold medal in Wally, my friend. Just Wally. That's what it says on the back.
Let's see if it's up there.
Yeah.
Yes, people have been talking about the liquid bomb terrorist plot. The ringleader of the terrorists knows the Quran backwards, which is fortunate, as that's how you read it. Mark, Chris, Jason, what else have the nation been talking about?
What do you reckon, Chris?
The weather, maybe?
It's a very British thing, yeah.
It's funny, though, it's in New Orleans, when they had their hurricane, they had martial law. It was, like, really serious, like, stuff. Martial law, there was a curfew, you weren't allowed to go out the house. And the worst thing that happened in this country was 100 stressed sheep had to be rescued in Northumberland. And you wonder, who rang that in, and how did they know what a stressed sheep was? What? Oh, I'm soaking wet!
Yeah, there was the heartwarming story, though, wasn't there? It was about the little girl who went down the stepped into a puddle, and she got sucked into the storm drain, and her dad saved her. And it was on the front page of all the papers, apart from the Daily Mail, because it was too much like good news.
They had the same story, but she was pushed down there by immigrants.
It was a lovely, heartwarming story. And I'm very, I'm not the most sentimental, but I was actually almost... I wrote a song. I was so moved. A beautiful little song.
What now?
How'd it go?
Do you really? Yeah. No. Not I'm next to Jamelia. But no, it was a very touching story, wasn't it?
I want to hear this song.
You want to hear my song?
More than anything in the world.
But the song was... Leona went to the park.
I love it.
Yeah.
I want to pretend to be Simon Cowell.
OK, thanks.
She was having such a lark. She stepped in a puddle, got into a muddle. In the storm drain! Storm drain! In the storm drain!
Very reminiscent of Nirvana's early work. Yeah, it starts very gentle.
Goes on. Don't not in the middle of it. I've finished my fucking song. Dad got into the tears, but soon he was less miserable. He made a dash quick as a flash. He got her out of the storm drain. That's it.
Storm drain, storm drain! Yeah, we like it.
Yeah, we like it.
Can we be in your band?
Yeah.
Let's have a look and see if the weather's one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, imagine that. The British have been talking about the weather. I saw a woman crying in her flooded front room. I thought, if anything, you're making it worse, love. Sean, Biggins, Jamelia, what else have the nation been talking about?
Posh Spice cut her hair. No, I'm telling you, right?
Sorry, end of the world, terrorism. We've covered those.
No.
Now the big story with Jamelia.
What is it? I mean, I can't wait to see it. I haven't had a chance yet.
It's called the pixie look, Sean. Oh. I don't know why I know that. Don't give me that look, Biggins.
You little pixie, you.
things don't turn out right, 10 years' time, you could be playing a pixie in Panto with...
Yes!
You could lift you on his knee for a song.
Absolutely. We could do a vent act.
Yeah, we'll give it a quick go. Come on. So I would... Yeah, so it'd be like that.
So it'd be like that. So...
Well, hang on a second. One hand's there, one hand's on my back. What's that other... Actually, nothing to write home about.
That's what you said last night.
Turned it to fucking Panto. Two blokes are going to come on in a horse in a minute.
I can tell you, Posh's hairstyle isn't one of the most talked about things. Jamelia. OK, fingers on buzzers. What else have the nation been talking about?
Is it the story that Barbara Windsor's had her nails done?
I'll just check that for you.
Andy Murray in the US Open.
Oh, my God, it was incredible. It was my best thing ever.
Not as good as me at the Olympics, though.
Yeah.
No.
Second best thing ever.
Well, he came second, which made me think that's more of a Scottish athlete. That's sort of what... Coming first, really, you've kind of broken the whole spells.
You know, you don't want to boast.
No, but
you
you
know.
may as well.
Yeah.
I want to ask
You don't want to boast, sorry. Everyone on your team's wearing a gold medal?
couldn't stop looking at his sideburns.
Andy Murray did look like... He looked like a tramp. And Federer looked like a sort of a doll. And not a bead of sweat on him.
But he's sponsored by Gillette, isn't he?
He is sponsored by Gillette, yeah, he had to have a shave.
Yeah.
I think that was maybe Andy Murray having a little hint at Gillette going, hello, for a couple of quid, this could be gone. If only I had a razor. How Scottish is that? He's waiting for a sponsorship deal before he buys. How much is a Mac 3? No. Let's have a look and see whether Andy Murray is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, indeed. Andy Murray was beaten by Roger Federer in the final of the US Open. It was the most successful performance by a British tennis player since Greg Rosetsky came fourth in Dancing on Ice. OK, one more to get fingers on buzzers.
Now, is it the American government's intervention in the credit crunch situation? It's a great support package, putting trillions of dollars into Fannie Mae. It is Panto, isn't it? Just say. They've got two major lending institutions, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac.
Is the bank called Fannie Mae?
Yes.
Yeah, it's sort of the nickname of it.
I think it sounds like the best month of the year. Can't wait for April to be finished. It's Fannie Mae!
Let's have a look and see whether it's up there. Yes, this is the story that the US government has bailed out America's two biggest mortgage companies. It's going to cost $25 billion, which is crazy. For that kind of money, they could have another 3 weeks in Iraq. At the end of that round, Sean's team have 2 points, Jason's team have 3 points. Welcome back to 8 out of 10 Cats. The next round is Pick of the Polls. Our team's taken in turns to choose a picture from the board and then they have to answer a related question. Sean, Jamelia and Christopher, you're to go first. What do you fancy the look of?
If I'm to be honest, I didn't actually hear the question, so I don't understand why we're looking even at the pictures.
You've got to tell me the connection between all 6 pictures.
Okay.
Just you on this one, no help from your teammates. And this is the only round where you have to write it down. You have to do 300 words.
Really, all you have to do is pick a picture down.
Sorry, I didn't know.
OK, what are you going to go for?
I'm going to go for the lady with the boobs.
OK, you've chosen the vegetarian. 58% of vegetarians what?
I've had this theory for a while, is that if you go to a vegetarian's house and they only make vegetarian food and you have to eat it, but if they come to your house, then they've got to have meat, because you're a meat eater.
Fair's fair.
My dad does it with cigarettes. He's a smoker. If he goes to a non-smoker's house, he's not allowed to smoke. But when you go to his house, you've got to have a fag.
All his friends are dead, of course. Never mind. So 58% of vegetarians what?
Don't eat meat.
You're very close, just remove a word.
Do eat meat.
Correct.
Do eat meat.
That is the correct answer. Bizarrely, 58% of people that say they're vegetarian actually eat meat. When I'm having a dinner party, I always make sure there are vegetarian options. They can make do or fuck off. OK, you've got to pick a picture.
OK, it'd be silly not to have Chris Hoy, wouldn't it? Sat here.
We polled the studio audience and asked them, would you rather win an Olympic gold medal or an Oscar?
What do you think?
It depends on the audience, doesn't it? Depends on their kind of...
If they did make a film of your life, who'd you want to play you?
One of my coaches reckons I look like the guy from The Incredibles, the father.
He does that a lot. 2 tickets to the gun show, please. Right, I wouldn't mind. All he's doing with those is holding handlebars. Occasionally you've got to ring a bell when you're passing someone.
Do you, when you're cycling around the streets, do you wear an helmet?
Not the big, long, pointy one, but yeah, I wear a helmet.
Yeah, that one. Because my friend, right, she will not wear the helmet at all, right? She's like, I'm not wearing a helmet. And the reason she's not wearing one is because she says it messes her hair up, right?
Oh, should we go over to Jamelia for hair news? I'm afraid I've got to fuck off. Back to you, Jason.
Well, I said to her, yeah, but a road traffic accident will mess your hair up more, won't it, than wearing a helmet? Like, you don't want to be lying in A&E and the doctor come over and go, are you all right? You go, just tell me, is my hair all right? Well, you can have a look, it's on this plate.
Why don't we do an appeal to her now?
Wear an helmet, you dick. Chris always says.
Yeah, always says.
I don't wear a helmet. I cycled all the way through. I said it, I cycled all the way through the 70s.
Yeah. 1972. 1973. 1974.
Nobody had a helmet.
My dad says if you don't wear an helmet, you've got nothing to protect.
So your dad, he's a heavy smoker, who says, you're mad if you don't wear a helmet.
OK, so what do you think? Oscar?
It's got to be the medal, surely.
What do you
I
reckon?
don't know, I think Oscars.
I'm going to go with Hoy.
Fair enough, because he's got his medals. Oscar. The Oscar.
You think Oscars? Well, I can tell you that you're absolutely wrong. 81% of our audience say they'd rather have an Olympic gold than an Oscar. Of course they would. Chris Hoy's bike was very expensive, but you've got to remember it was a joint birthday and Christmas present. At the end of that round, Sean, Biggins and Jamelia have 3 points. Jason, Chris and Mark have 3 points. The next round is Believe It or Not. In this round, I give the panellists a simple statement. All they have to do is tell me whether they think it's true or false. Let's have a look at a clip to illustrate your statistic.
I went to the BBC and someone says, oh, Mike Reed's here. I thought, not my favourite DJ of all times. Ha! I was flabbergasted. Just as we were about to go out, I saw this gorgeous-looking guy. I thought, oh, my good God. I thought, he's an absolute cracker. So I turned round and says to him, is your name Mike Reed? Just like that. He said yes, because he was with Ed Stewart. Ed Stewart's breath stinks. But Mike Reed has got beautiful breath. Mike Reed is absolutely gorgeous. He is fantastic. He is tops. He was wearing his beautiful blue corduroy shorts. I playfully tapped Mike's bum. Tenders! Talk about the electricity going through me.
She broke my heart. Here is your related statistic. 19% of people would dump their current partner for a celebrity.
Oh.
What do you think? Is that true or false?
Depends who the celebrity is. I mean, Mugabe's a celebrity.
He's not, really. He's not a celebrity. He's not a celebrity. You don't see him in Heat. Yeah, you don't see him with Mugabe. He's got, you know, like, putting some stuff in the car and his, like, shirt rides up and there's a bit of flag.
I think a lot of people have got that thing in their relationship where they're allowed to, if they meet a certain someone, they're allowed to have a go on that someone. Who would be your choice of celebrity? Who would you go for?
David Beckham.
He's a man.
Have people ever invited you onto a show to get close to you, Jamelia?
No, but there are celebrities. There's lots
You look
of
lovely
like...
tonight.
Anyway, you embarrass me now.
Well, you're just saying you're looking lovely, so no need to be embarrassed because you do, so it's fine.
Even when you're talking, you sound like you're in a chat room.
LOL. Are you in a relationship?
I'm married, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That actually hurts.
But Jimmy, just press delete and start on someone else.
Biggins, you look great tonight, man. Chris, you've been a celebrity, like you've kind of a newfound level of celebrity the last couple of weeks. Are you using it to get poontang?
Well, my girlfriend's sitting in the audience, so I'm going to say no. One of my friends phoned me up from a pub in Edinburgh.
Right.
And there was a guy who was posing as me in the pub, pretending to be Chris Hoy, and he was chatting up a girl. And he went up and said, "You're not Chris Hoy, because if you were Chris Hoy, you'd recognise me." And he's like, "Oh, I didn't see you there. Sorry. How are you doing?"
Jason, have you ever been caught cheating? You've come up with a brilliant story. Because Chris has.
That's a perfect alibi.
Oh no, someone pretending to be what? No, me. So what do you think? 90% of people would dump their current partner for a celebrity. True or false?
True.
True.
You think true?
The way I look at it is this: it's 3-all.
Yeah.
They've gone true. If we go false, the gamble is they'll go a point above us.
But
if we go true as well, we'll either go 1-all or we'll stay level.
Can I just check in at what the total is? What's in the prize fund? Literally fucking nothing. Maybe you wanna...
I don't want to be the guy who's on Chris Hoy's losing team this year.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying. So, Chris Hoy, you're a winner. What do you reckon? True or false?
True.
We're going to go true.
Well, I can tell you the answer is true. Yes, 19% of people would dump their current partner for a celebrity. Of course, girls expect me to make them laugh in bed, and they're never disappointed. So at the end of that round, it's 4 points for Sean's team and 4 points for Jason's team. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here is your first one. Best way to make a woman feel beautiful.
Lying. Lying through your teeth.
I would say tell her. That's the best way.
Very good
Myself.
answer. Tell her.
Tell her.
I think you said towel her. She's just finished around in the box. You just towel her. Go on, go out there. You're beautiful. Go out there. Beautiful, go out there.
Is it sneaking up to her window at night and trying to get her attention by gently tapping it, and then when she looks at you going, "You're beautiful"?
I'll give you a clue. There is a Glaswegian variety.
Glasgow kiss. Is it just kiss? A kiss?
Head butter.
Kiss is exactly right, yeah. Sport most likely to give you an injury.
Cockfighting. It's got similar rules to fencing. You don't have to wear an helmet.
I know one. Volley anvil. That's me.
Oh, the Olympics just got better.
Sorry, it's just because I don't know what the sport is. I know it's not swords, but you know that. What is it that they're throwing?
Javelin.
Javelin, that's it. Is
Not
that
swords.
No.
Sword throwing is dangerous.
Oh, it's coming back!
Sword throwing.
Yeah, what about 3-day eventing?
3-day eventing?
Yeah.
I've thought of a way we can cut the accidents by a third. 2-day eventing. Sport most likely to give you an injury.
Is it football?
You're absolutely right. The answer is football. Joey Barton recently broke a leg and an arm. I'll teach the bloke to look at him funny. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean Biggins and Jamelia have 4 points, but the gold medalists this evening are Jason, Mark and Chris Hoy. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.
On 8 out of 10 Cats, Boss Toddy, Tara Palmer Tompkinson, American Dream, Doug Stanhope, and their team captain, Sean Locke. And facing them tonight, Sweden's greatest export, Ulrika Johnson. Funny boyo, Rod Gilbert. And their team captain, Jason Manford. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, 1 in 10 Europeans is now conceived on an IKEA bed? And for similar reasons, I'm no longer welcome at the Croydon branch of DFS. 26% of New Yorkers have herpes. If you can catch it there, you can catch it anywhere. And 62% of people think that being single gives them the chance to be more spontaneous. I've got no plans tonight, so should I sob myself to sleep or comfort eat? Let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most popular talking points. Sean, Tara, Doug, what have the nation been talking about?
George Michael. Hooray!
He was on crack.
Well, that's the thing.
Well, that's fair enough.
Tara, let's not people in glass houses. You think he's got a problem?
Yeah, I clearly think he's got a problem. But I like George Michael. I'm a big fan. I like his music, but I do think he does have a problem because he's on crack. He's caught in Hampstead Heath. I mean, how long have you got?
How dare he think he owns his own body and can do whatever he wants with it? How dare he? I don't understand why people that get in positions like that apologize. He's apologizing to his public as though he has any responsibility to...
Why is he apologising? Well, it does seem a bit odd, because most of the best music that's ever been created has been done on drugs.
Yeah, but not on drugs in toilets.
One of his fans has said he's done it because he's been on tour, now he's not on tour, and he's empty, he's got nothing to do. But I thought, when my granddad retired, he didn't start bumming and taking crack in toilets.
I think one of the reasons about the toilets, public toilets, there's a lot of tension in public toilets, especially men's urinals. If you're standing at your urinal with 5 or 6 other men, it's a very tense environment.
Yeah,
all you have to do is just do, like, a little shimmy, and it causes blind panic. People go, Jesus Christ! What's going on? What are you up to? They are very tense places, and there's also that I think he gets ideas. You know that nonchalant whistling they have in toilets? Where if you're in a toilet, you hear someone going...
What does that mean?
And it's really worrying when it stops. That's where I reckon he got the idea for the sax solo in Careless Whisper.
But they are disgusting as well. Bloke's toilet, basically, somebody went in about 15 years ago, got their cock out, started pissing and spinning round. And then every so often a member of staff goes in, signs the name on a wall and then walks back out again.
My favourite one is there's one on the A1 in the services, and it says on the outside of the toilet sort of thing, it says, these facilities are checked weekly. Like, if you don't care, don't check them. Yeah, we check weekly. They open the door and go, that's a shithole. Job done.
I went to Knutsford Services and it said this toilet will be cleaned again in 26 minutes. There's a big countdown display. I got to tell you, I like watching the toilets getting cleaned as much as you do, but I'm not waiting 26 minutes. 20 minutes is the absolute cut-off for me. So I know what I'll do. I'll have half a shit here, push on and try and catch the cleaners in Kiel. That's what I thought.
Right, let's have a look and see whether George Michael is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story that George Michael has been arrested in a public lavatory again. George Michael does practice safe sex. He keeps one foot up against the cubicle door. Jason, Ulrika, Rod, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
I think it's got to be David Blaine. He's supposed to be a magician, and his latest trick is hanging upside down for 60 hours. You're like, that's not a trick, is it? What happened to proper magic? When you see a magician, you want to go, I wonder how he did that. Not, what a prick.
Right, let's have a look at a picture of the little fella in action. There he is. That's him upside down.
I used to hate David Copperfield till he came along. Now I quite miss the spangly blow-dried Ponce. His formula of magic, whatever he does, seems to be really awkward, plus time plus catheter. They're all about things where he can't really go for a piss.
How does the catheter work going up? Is there a nurse in the house?
There's George Michael's on the other end sucking it.
I met him once, actually.
Oh, go on, what did you think?
Yeah, and I really did believe he was magic in the beginning. And so then he said, can I take your number? And I went, well, that's fine. He goes, I'll remember it, just give it to me. And I went, 07 E03. He goes, can I just borrow a pen? So he clearly is not magic at all.
But that's what's annoying about his endurance tricks. They've got progressively worse and less impressive.
The first one was good when he stood up on...
You know, so he's done that. He stood on a pole for a long time, right? He was in some ice, right? He was in some ice. That was pretty impressive. And then gradually, you know, now he's like, I'm hanging upside down for a couple of days, and every so often I'm going to have a bit of a rest. And I expect his next one's just going to be, for my next trick, I'm going to put some fruit pastels in my mouth, and I'm not going to chew.
Jason, have you spent the first 2 minutes of the show writing with a biro?
Look at him. That is so funny.
Well, let's have a look and see whether David Blaine is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story of David Blaine hanging upside down for 60 hours. David Blaine is hanging upside down with only electromagnetic boots holding him up. Let's hope there's not a power cut, or we won't be able to watch him fall to his death. OK, Sean, back over to you. What else do you think the nation should be talking about?
Golf.
Golf? What about golf?
Ryder Cup. Actually, Europe lost the Ryder Cup to America. I think the weird thing about it is the BBC say, and the Ryder Cup is on Radio 5 Live. And you think, no, it's not. It's on Sky Sports, the Ryder Cup. Listening to golf on the radio has got to be the most pointless experience known to man. If you were a mole at the course, you'd have a better idea of what's going on. You'd just say, like, oh, I think it might be in. You listen to it, you go, he's knocked it quite near the hole, and it's a bit nearer, and now it's in. That's it. It's just the most pointless thing. It's better off just listening to central heating. Use of your time. That's all the BBC's got.
Did you watch any of the golf?
I hate golf. That's not true.
Why'd you say it then?
You are like a mystery wrapped in an enigma.
I know.
I hate golf. Aha, or do I?
The big story in the Ryder Cup was Sandwich-gate. They called it Sandwich-gate, which was... Nick Faldo got in trouble because he was holding a piece of paper with all the names of the golfers on and how they were going to play and how they were going to line up against the Americans. And someone took a picture of it, and afterwards he went... no, that was the sandwich order. That was a sandwich order for dinner. That wasn't anything tactical. It was a sandwich order. Like, Nick Faldo, the millionaire golfer, is also doing the catering for the tour. You're halfway through, but... Nick, get us an ham and pickle. All right, mate.
Have you ever played golf?
I have tried to play golf.
You've tried to play it?
Yeah, but I always break windows, because I practice at home, and it always...
You always break windows? Yeah, you should practice outside, I think, is one of the key things.
No, I play outside, but...
It's towards the
big
house.
house.
You golf
Jimmy.
overhand?
The next one's in Wales, isn't it? Next...
Yes, it is, yeah.
Ryder Cup. Newport.
Newport.
Yeah. Beautiful place.
No. Let's have a look and see if the golf was one of the most talked about things this week. I don't know much about golf, Nick Faldo, but if you can't get your players to chip a ball through a windmill and into a clown's mouth, you don't deserve to win. OK, Jason, over to you. What else have the nation been talking about?
Well, the front page of the papers were all about Gordon Brown having a kiss off his wife, and all the headlines in all the papers were kiss of life.
Kiss of wife.
Kiss of wife, of course. And stand by your man, that was another headline. Apart from the Daily Star, which headline was Robbie Williams in gorilla suit.
No, I thought it was quite interesting. It's incredibly well received, his speech today. And I thought there's a danger that Gordon Brown will think everything's going to be fine now, but I don't think that's the case. Because there's nothing that's going to save Gordon Brown. If he was assassinated, it wouldn't help him.
It's kind of like...
He could walk in with, like, Bin Laden on a lead, barking like a dog. Too late, mate. Too late. You haven't done enough.
Ulrika, do you support Labour? Do you like Gordon Brown?
He's like a bridesmaid who's really probably not meant to have ever been a bride.
If you're watching Spinsters, hi!
I did really quite fancy him when I met him.
Like, you know...
I did.
Oh, literally, I thought we were going... Oh.
Yeah, but I did screw Sven-Göran Eriksson too, so that is slightly... Allegedly.
What do you mean allegedly? You just said it. You can only really do that about other people. Let's see if Gordon Brown is one of the most talked about things this week.
It's all our mystery.
Yes, it was the Labour Party conference this week. To stabilise the economy, Brown promised tighter financial regulations, and so long as he manages to implement them, by April of last year, we'll all be fine. Ruth Kelly has resigned as Transport Secretary in order to spend more time with her family. It's bad news for Gordon Brown, and terrible news for her family. OK, fingers on buzzers. One more thing to get. What else has the nation been talking about?
Is it this thing about, apparently, 1 in £50 coins is a fake? And you can tell if they're frayed at the edges and it's not very good, you know, not very good quality.
Spin.
Not very good. Sorry, what are you doing there? Scratch
Very good
cards?
quality.
I'm not from the north, so I don't do the scratch cards.
Yes, you are. They said you can tell that these pound coins are false is because you can test them in vending machines, that reliable piece of equipment, a vending machine, right? And I thought, when I've done that, you have done that thing, haven't you, when you put £1 in for a can of Coke or something and it's come back out and you do, then the next bit you, like, give it a little, make it wet, like, lick it a little bit and then put it back in, see if that works. And then I always do this last one where I try and take the vending machine by surprise. Where I just sort of hold it there just for a second and then just sort of go, is that Johnny Depp? Vending machine.
I can tell you that fake pound coins was not one of the most talked about things this week. But yes, this is the story that there are 30 million fake £1 coins in circulation. You can tell they're fake because if you look really closely, the Queen is Helen Mirren. One more thing to get things on buzzers.
Stonehenge.
Stonehenge.
Tara, I don't want to be niggly about the rules, but if someone else says it first, and then you say it directly afterwards...
You said it, Tara, though, like it was a trigger word for an assassin.
So, Ulrika.
They've been spending a long time trying to decipher what actually went on at Stonehenge, and it turns out that it was a place of healing, potentially. It's a bit like a sort of A&E department.
You're right, they said it was a hospital because a lot of the people that they found buried there had died from things like illness.
I want to hear what Tara's got to say, because you did say Stonehenge with such gusto.
I live near Stonehenge. Yeah, it is a place of well-being. Quick spliff, sunset. I always thought it was quite cool.
OK, let's have a look and see if Stonehenge is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story that Stonehenge used to be an ancient hospital. We know this because some of the patients from then are still on the waiting list. You can find out more about this story by watching Time Team, if there's absolutely nothing else on. OK, right, at the end of that round, I can tell you Sean's team have 2 points, Jason's team have 3 points. Our next round is called Pick of the Polls. Jason, you're to go first. What do you like the look of?
We're going to go with the monkey.
You've chosen the monkey?
Yeah.
13% of men believe a monkey could what?
Could talk.
13% of people believe a monkey could talk?
Men, not people.
Ulrika, we've all been hurt. You've got to move on. Let it go, let it go.
Is it carry a piano upstairs?
Could work.
It's kind of to do with work.
Could be a boss.
That's exactly right. You got it exactly right there. 30% of men believe a monkey could do their boss's job. Exactly right. Yes, 13% of men believe a monkey could do their boss's job. I prefer to see monkeys in their natural environment, cowering in metal crates, smoking B&H, with electrodes hanging out of their freshly shampooed eyes. I've just spotted a wizard up there. Hello, wizard. Sorry, we asked a question about Stonehenge and we really should have deferred to you. I love the Harry Potter films. Well done. OK, Tara, Sean, Doug, what do you like the look of?
Yeah, that one I should hammer all day.
He wants to hammer Sarah Palin all day long.
Do you?
No, not in that way. I think she's gross.
Well, you want to go...
When they say that she's like really hot, and then you go, well, on what planet is she hot? Oh, she's hot for politics. She's hotter than John McCain.
OK, so you've chosen Sarah Palin. America is gripped by an election campaign which could see its first ever female vice president. So we polled the studio audience and asked them, do you want to see Sarah Palin in the White House? What do you think they said?
I think one of the really interesting things about her is that really all she's done is she's told a very good joke. She went out at the Republican thing and she did that joke. She said, what's the difference between a pit bull and a hockey mum? Lipstick. It's a good joke, and everyone goes, oh, that's a really good joke. And the thing I liked about it is it reminded me of the time that I put lipstick on a pit bull. And he was already pretty angry about the suspenders and high heels, so... struggle! We're going to finish the job! So you're not a fan? Obviously not a fan at all. You're disgusted.
No, I'm not a fan. I think it's a cheap, transparent ploy to get women to vote for her, and I think the scary part is it could work.
It's working.
Women build their lives on cheap, transparent ploys like romance and all these things.
I love the way you had them all on your side, then you just went, fuck off!
Let's get a guess over here. We asked our studio audience, do you want to see Sarah Palin in the White House? What do you think?
This audience, no way.
I can tell you you're absolutely right. The answer is no. 72% of our audience do not want to see Sarah Palin in the White House. This week, Sarah Palin was introduced to 8 world leaders in 48 hours. It was considered a success by the Republican Party because she only shot 2 of them. Sarah Palin brings beauty, enthusiasm and charm to a job that requires experience, integrity and common sense. So at the end of that round, Sean, Tara and Doug have 3 points, Jason, Ulrika and Rod have 4 points. The next round is Believe It or Not. In this round, I give the panellists a simple statement, and all they have to do is decide whether they think it's true or false. Here's a little clip to illustrate the statistic.
The city of Lincoln plays host to the Miss YTV contest 1980. One of the 15 lovely passengers is on her way to fame and fortune aboard this vintage fire engine. It's a perfect setting to find the girl nearest to perfection. The first prize is £500, a week's tour of Holland, and a year's contract to travel representing YTV at exciting events during the next 12 months.
Hello, Christine. Come and join me. Christine, you're a restaurant manageress.
That's correct, yeah.
Could you tell me how many staff you look after?
There's about 14 in all.
Any males?
Oh, yes, there's about 4 or 5. There's some gays as well.
Are there really? Do you have any problems with supervising males?
No, actually, because you find that they sort of share the same interests as yourself with being gay themselves.
Good luck with the competition, Christine, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much.
Like Whitney said, they're looking for the woman closest to perfection. They've sort of ruled out perfection, haven't they?
They also drove her in on a vintage fire engine. I mean, it was pretty crazy generally. 69% of people prefer brains to beauty. True or false?
Can't we have a little bit of each? If it's a choice of extremes, would you have somebody really beautiful, though, if they literally didn't have a brain at all, if they were incapable of any human activity?
That's the only chance of me getting somebody like that, to be fair. And also one of those things, I've never heard any of my mates go, "Wow, you should have seen this girl last night. Well clever."
What would you go for, brains or beauty?
I always go for brains. No.
Well, you like tactics, don't you? Very defensive tactics, I might add. Lacks ability to use the wing-backs, that's what you go for. Someone who doesn't really use the wingers and bring the play forward. Doesn't connect the midfield to the attacker. It should never have taken Theo Walcott. That was a disgrace.
So you would go for...
I go for neither. I like thick, ugly women. It's just a roller coaster ride.
It'd be great if that was your taste.
Depressing, disappointing, worthless, hollow, meaningless relationships. And you can you can do 10 in a day and nothing affects you. You can never get enough. It's like crisps.
Tara, you went out with James Blunt. What were you going for, brains or beauty or...?
Size.
You're looking for a massive twat. So, 69% of people prefer brains to beauty. What do you think, Sean?
False.
I think it's true. I think it's
I've been
true.
overruled.
You think it's... OK, so your team thinks it's true?
Yeah.
OK, so you're going true. What are you guys going for?
I'm going to go false, then.
So you're going false? Well, I can tell you the answer is true.
Yay!
Yeah, 69% of people do prefer brains to beauty. The thing is, when you strip away the sexy clothes, the makeup and the French cut panties, what are you left with? An erection. So at the end of that round, it's 4 points for Sean's team and 4 points for Jason's team. It is neck and neck as we go into our final round, which is, and the winner is, OK, Britain's least popular present.
I bought my husband a Jimmy Carr live DVD.
You bought your husband a Jimmy Carr live DVD. Thank you very much for the money.
And he bought me one as well.
He bought you one?
Yeah.
What?
So
you
the
bought
two
each
of
other?
us. I know, isn't that weird?
Jimmy, the question was least popular present.
It was really unpopular.
Can't believe my luck. What's the worst thing you've ever been given?
My birthday's the day before Christmas, and my brother gave me a pack of 3 blank cassettes, one for my birthday and the other 2 for Christmas.
A pack of 3 blank cassettes?
Yeah.
Here, you like music, put some on this.
What about one of those adopt a donkey gifts that people do?
It's just really annoying. They give it to a village in Peru.
yeah, exactly.
And you think, I'd really like a donkey.
I've got one. You can have one. I'll give it to you for Christmas, I
Really?
promise. I really will.
Wow.
I had,
Yeah, I've got 2.
Where have you got your donkeys?
At home. I promise you, you're going to get it.
Do I get a donkey outside my house, or I've still got
If
this
you want him,
notion
yeah.
of a donkey somewhere?
Are
This
these-
might be. They might have shot
Yeah.
it years ago.
If you sponsor a child or a donkey or anything like that, get them to hold up a paper, today's paper with it.
yeah,
like a
yeah.
hostage situation.
Yeah, I'm going to give it. He's called Charlie.
He's called Charlie. He's literally a drugs mule.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave show business. I'm going to do
I'm going to
donkey
give
rides.
it to you.
probably not the least popular, but it's the worst thing or the most confusing thing I've had. My mother bought me a torch with the power of 1,000,000 candles. Have you seen those? Because I've got no notion of how bright 1,000,000 candles is, have you? I don't think in candles, to be honest. 100,000's got to be enough for any domestic situation, hasn't it? 1,000,000 candles for $3.99. That's
gotta be value, isn't it?
That's going to spell the end of the single candle, isn't it? That's for a start. Tesco's do them in packs of 5 for $1.99. You're saving nearly 400 grand there, aren't you?
OK, Britain's least popular present. I'll tell you, it's meant to be kind of a sensual thing.
Chlamydia.
Is it those bath bombs?
I'll give you that, yeah, near enough. That's a great answer.
Bubbles. Really?
Yeah. Yes, Britain's least popular present is bubble bath. Well, if they're not grateful for their bubble bath, why not throw in a toaster? OK, next question. Top way to annoy people on public transport.
I think it's voting for Boris Johnson is the best way to annoy people on
Oh,
public
I love
transport.
him.
Oh, what a surprise. Looks to me, looks like somewhere on his body there's a zip. And if you unzip it, you can just get in him and pretend to be him for a few hours.
Is it hanging upside down in electromagnet boots?
Is it talking in the quiet carriage?
I had a woman, it wasn't in the quiet carriage, it was in the regular carriage, and I got a phone call. And I did that thing if, you take a phone call like you take it on the train. So you take it a little bit quietly and quickly. You kind of go, yeah, no, fine, yeah, OK. And she said, in the middle of my phone call, she went, I didn't buy a ticket to listen to your phone call. And I went, it's one of the bravest things I've ever done. I went, I just have to hold for a second because a woman needs to mind her business.
Did you do that?
I'm quite street. Boom. Watch yourself.
Actual music, like really tinny, shitty music out the back.
Maybe wearing...
That's really annoying.
That is the correct answer, yeah. Yes, the top way to annoy people on public transport is playing very loud music. I hate hearing that annoying tick, tick, tick from someone's rucksack. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean, Tara and Doug have 4 points, but Jason, Ulrika and Rod are the winners with 6 points. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.